Hey everyone, this is smpratte, and I have a very important Patreon update to talk about with you guys. I'm going to consolidate everything into one $50 tier, but before we get into that and the new perks included, first and foremost, if you are in the previous $20 tier, you will be grandfathered in. You're going to get grandfathered into the grandma house, and don't worry if you haven't already joined. After this video is released, I'll leave that previous price available for a couple weeks. That way you can hop in at the old rate and receive the new perks. So what's included in this new $50 tier? It'll start each month with the MMR video where I go over what happened in modern, vintage. I talk about what I purchased that month. I'll print out my eBay sales. We'll go through all of that, and I'll talk about what I think is overrated and underrated. Yes, these are the videos where I talk about the infamous Charizard promo, Kanazawa Pikachu. Basically, I speak very candidly on what happened each month in the hobby. You're also going to get 2 Q&As now each month, and those are running at least an hour and a half at this point. We're going through multiple coconut waters now in each Q&A. And those are twofold. Not only can you ask me a question and I'll give you an answer, but also you get access to very valuable data and information. There's no real modest way to say this, but my Patreon is a very concentrated pool, if not the most concentrated pool of high-end collectors in the hobby. It's a big reason why I say sperm to sperm whale, because there's some guys in there that make me look like a pollywag. So therefore, not only are you getting my 15 years of experience when you ask me a question, you also get access to this upper echelon and serious collectors to see what they're talking about, what they're asking, what they're thinking right now. You also will get access to the smpratte consignments. This is something I think a lot of people know through word of mouth at this point, but I do consignments for Patreon members. Basically, I will sell their cards through my store, and I have a formula that works to the point where other auction houses are trying to plug into that formula, which may happen in the very near future. I've mentioned it before already in Patreon, but that is another perk as well that is included. And then last but not least, I have something that will happen eventually down the road, once in a blue moon, where I will offer certain things to Patreon members only. Typically, these are going to be items in my deep storage that I find. I'm like, oh yeah, I have these, don't have time to sell them. So here you go, X person or business. I'll leave you that margin on the table. And then, you take them and put in that work and, make that extra money. I've done that before. People like Rusty and other smaller to bigger businesses where I just give them a ton of ungraded cards at a certain price, and then they go piece them out and get the rest of that margin. So that'll be something that'll happen down the road once in a blue moon, but it's worth mentioning for people who are interested. Now, last but not least, the $500 consignment is still going to be a thing, but I'm going to dial down the membership model because the parameters of trying to get in each month, I think, are too much of a constraint, not only for me, but like I have people in Australia, Singapore, who are like the exact opposite time zone. So therefore, if you do want to do the direct calls, you could just message me and we can manually do that, where we set it up, manually pay. I do that all the time every week already, and I think it's just a better format for both parties. So for the price of one PSA economy service card, you have access to everything mentioned in that tier. Just a quick recap, you'll get the MMR video, 2 Q&As, access to consignments, and then potential offers down the road on certain items. And I always have to close with Patreon is the entire reason why I still make content. It's 100% the support for why I make videos. I don't take any sponsor deals. I'm not taking anything behind the scenes. It's just Patreon. And that is entirely all my reasons for why I still am doing content and why you still see this beautiful grandma house. So I can't thank everyone enough for the support. I'm going to try keep on keeping on. And, as I grow as a YouTuber, it feels super weird to say, the more I invest in this and the more Patreon/YouTube grows, the more content I'll put out on both ends, publicly and privately. So there it is. That is the newest update. Again, you will be grandfathered in if you join in the next couple weeks after this video drops. And you know the deal, guys. Let me know how you feel. That's pretty much it. Appreciate the support. Thanks a ton. Till next time.